Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to test and replace these stove elements. So these things can go out fairly frequently. If you're having issues where your pan gets hot and then it starts cooling off after that, then your element could be going out. Another thing they'll do is they'll just stop coming on entirely, and in that case your pan won't even heat up. You'll turn on the dial and it won't even get hot. I'm going to quickly go over how to remove this element, how to test it with the multimeter, and then if it is bad, I'm going to show you how to get a new one and put it in. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is make sure your burner is off. You could also unplug the stove if you feel like it, but as long as the element is off, then it shouldn't be hot. Definitely make sure it's not hot before you do anything. These eyes are typically really easy to get out. You just lift up on it from the bottom just like this, and it should just lift right out. If it doesn't, then this little part right here will be pressed up against this part, and you just need to kind of push forward on it just a little bit, and then you can pull it up like that. Once you have it up, you need to pull it back. It's actually pressed in to fit, so you just pull this straight back like that. You're just pulling these two little leads out of a clamp. Once you pull that out, you have your element, and we're ready to look at it and test it. Give it a good once over. If there's any like little burnt spots on it, then that's a pretty good indicator that it's bad and would need to be replaced. Okay, so I'm going to show you two different ways to test. I'm going to set it to the ohms, and we're going to use the ohm section to test first. This is the super accurate way of testing. There's another way to test that I'll show you after this that's just super quick, super easy, and it makes an audible noise. But first, we're going to go ahead and put this on 200 on my multimeter. You just want to have it on your like lowest ohm setting. So I went ahead and set that up, and you can see that it has an infinite connection. And then if I connect the leads together, we get a tiny bit of resistance. So that registers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect it to each of the leads here. And you can see that it's registering the resistance that it has once it's connected. I've got the red over here connected on the white side, and then I've got the black on the other side. And it's basically just sending a little signal through the entire element, and it's connected. So that's showing that this is a good element. If yours shows 0 and then you can't get it to show a connection, then your element is bad. So now I'm going to show you the really simple way of doing it that makes a beeping noise. This simply says, hey, there's no connection, no sound. And then it makes a beeping noise whenever there is a connection. So you can hear that beeping noise. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect one lead to one side and then one lead to the other side, and you can hear that beeping sound. So that's doing the same kind of measurement, but your multimeter will just do this beeping sound. Some multimeters don't have that functionality, so I wanted to show you how to test it using the ohm section first, because that is on just about every multimeter. All right, so where we go from here depends on if you have a bad or good eye. So if you do not have continuity in your eye, then either these leads are really dirty and they need to be cleaned off. So you can use like a wire brush or a wire sponge or something like that and get these really shiny and see if you can get a continuity test to pass that way. If it's not this, then it's probably burnt in two somewhere, but you're not getting a connection all the way through, which means it's not going to heat up and it's not going to work. If it's not working and you can't get continuity, you're going to need to go to Lowe's or Home Depot, one of those big box stores, and in the appliance section, they actually have these elements for sale. These are very interchangeable. There will just be a large one and a small one. The small one is this size, and then the large one is this big size for the pots. So you want to make sure to get the right size. They usually sell them as a pack. My stove is 2 large ones and 2 small ones. So they usually sell them in a pack like that where it's 2 and 2. You just replace all of your elements with brand new elements. So on the other side of things, if you are getting continuity through this and the element is actually good, then I can almost guarantee that your problem is actually the connection here in this little connector block down here. If that's the case, you can raise your stove up. Typically they raise up just like that. You have these little stands on each side and your stove just raises up just like that. And then you can see this little connector block right here What happens is these wear out and then you need to wire a new one in. It's just 2 wires right here. You just have to cut those 2 wires and wire a new block in. You can get these on Amazon. You will have to kind of wait a day or two to get these mailed to you because typically Lowe's doesn't sell these. They just sell the elements. So hopefully your element's bad and not the block, but the block is super easy to replace it. That is it. If you're cooking Christmas dinner and your eye went out, or you need to cook dinner that night and you're waiting on this block to come in the mail, then what I would recommend is pushing this in to make sure that you're getting a really secure connection, and then putting it down. Once you've got the stovetop up, it gets a lot easier to kind of access down there and make sure your connection's good. But all you really need to do is make sure that it gets a good connection and not move it around. What typically happens is it's connected, it comes on, and then you set the pot on it, and then it moves and it stops being connected and it goes cold. But what you want to do is when you cook, just be very gentle with it. Don't move your pot around a lot until you get the new replacement in, and then you can go back to cooking like normal. Well, that's about it for now. I really hope this helps you get your stove back to cooking. If this did help you, if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, that would really help the channel out. But yeah, that's about it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.